This is XP03, a married couple talking games, past and present.
Today we're diving into 486 memories, disk-swapping marathons, config.sys trauma, and the emotional damage of trying to get sound working in games. Was it better back then, or were we just too stubborn to give up? Let's boot up. Okay, I'm going to transport you back like 30 years. You wake up on a Sunday, you sit down in front of your computer, you press the power button, and you hear this sound. The screen is completely black except a tiny white C colon and a blinking line in the upper left corner. How does this make you feel?
It makes me feel very nostalgic.
Okay.
Because you're talking about MS-DOS.
That's right. Microsoft DOS or MS-DOS. Just to be clear, we are not DOS veterans. We are just kids who accidentally had to use DOS.
Yes, we were forced to use DOS because we wanted to game so badly.
And we're now talking about the mid-90s?
Yes, Windows 95 came out 95.
Yeah.
So a few years before.
Yeah. So what was and what is MS-DOS?
Do you want me to explain that to you?
What's your take on MS-DOS?
MS-DOS was a mystery. My dad had a 486 computer in his room. And he had gotten some games from a friend on floppy disks. And of course it was DOS games. And he showed them to me. And I invaded his computer. I remember like the black screen and the C colon. And then you were supposed to write in different commands. It was like the Explorer is now in Windows, but you only used text-based commands.
No graphics.
I wasn't sure I really understood that because I was so young.
Yeah.
I'm born 85. I was under 10 years.
Yeah.
And my dad had written on this piece of paper, he had written CD space, drawn the space bar, and written space on it, and games, which was games,
of course,
and enter, and he had drawn the enter, and that was about all I needed.
Yeah. Okay.
And then came up a list of all the games we had, which wasn't many in the beginning, but we had games like Superplex and Commander Keen and a car game called Stunt, where you could build tracks. And those were mainly the games I played.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that easy that you only wrote in the name of the game. Then you had to look up which file you needed in order to start the game. And there could be a massive list. You just had to guess. Usually it was the one with .exe at the end, but it could be something else to like bat or anything really.
Yeah, the file extension. Yeah. So just to clarify for the younger listeners or someone that haven't used DOS, when you started your computer, it booted into DOS.
Yes.
So all you got was a black screen and a blinking line, basically, that told you where you were in the file structure at the moment.
Yeah, if you wanted to go to Windows, you had to write in Win.
Exactly. So DOS basically was an operating system. And you started Windows, which is an operating system from the operating system DOS. So operating system on an operating system.
That's interesting.
So inception. And you only used commands in DOS. So no graphics, no icons, no mouse.
No.
Just commands with a keyboard. What commands do you remember?
I remember like the CD ... If you wanted to go out one step, I think, from a folder.
Back one folder.
Back one.
Yeah, I think so.
And I remember dir, where you got up a list of all the files in a folder.
Yeah, dir was like show files.
Yeah.
And W was like wide list, I think.
Yeah,
if I
I
remember.
had no clue what the commands were short of.
No, me neither. I figured
Short
it out
for.
like a few days ago when we started talking about DOS. I said, why? W, and P is like page. So you can scroll one page, press enter,
yeah.
next page. Of course.
And CD was change directory.
Yeah, exactly. You could only choose a directory inside the directory you were already in.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, this brings me back.
It makes sense when I think of the Explorer in Windows now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it made sense then, but I had a little clue of what I was doing, just a tiny, but enough to start a game, and that was all I needed.
Yeah. And then there were the basic commands like copy, paste, and also a very, very dangerous one, format.
Oh, yeah.
So basically you could format your C drive, which were where everything was installed.
Wasn't there anything like, are you sure you want to do
Probably,
this?
but still. It's madness that you could format the whole system partition of your computer.
Just by writing a word.
Yeah. But basically that was our relationship with DOS.
Yeah, as far as it went.
Yeah. We were just trying to start games and not break the family computer.
Yeah, I remember I was scared to do something wrong.
Yeah. Because it was completely unforgiving.
Yeah.
And you had to check all the commands you wrote to be exactly correct. Otherwise they didn't work, or something else could have happened.
It wasn't like you could mess with the computer like you can do now. Of course, you can mess up any computer by doing anything, but at the time it felt more like you were defusing a bomb or something.
Hacking.
You were scared of doing one tiny mistake.
And since it's only commands, it wasn't always clear what the command did.
No.
So you could basically mess up a computer very easily. So scary stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember DOS came with Windows, but basically it was the other way around. Windows came with DOS because Windows was DOS based from the start.
Yeah, from what I understand, DOS was the first standard operating system.
Something like that, yeah. DOS was where you could do everything behind in the engine room of the computer, and Windows was just a graphical user interface, more or less.
Yeah, you're talking about Windows 3.1 or 11.
Yeah, 3.0, 3.1, 3.11 was the first I came in contact with on computers.
Yeah, I remember 3.11.
Yeah, and that came like 92 already. But I think we got our first computer somewhere in 94, 93 or something like that in our house.
Yeah, my dad had a computer really early.
Yeah.
Before I was
90s.
even interested.
Yeah.
Or I didn't know what it was.
DOS was included with Windows all the way up to 2001 with the launch of Windows XP.
Okay, so that's when DOS disappeared.
Basically, yeah, because Windows XP was the first Windows based on the Windows NT system, not on DOS. So the backbone wasn't DOS anymore.
Yeah, and XP brings such nostalgia to me, but let's not go there.
Yeah, I think XP was the first one where you didn't have to write Win. It launched straight into Windows.
Did you need to write Win with Windows 95?
I'm not sure.
I don't think
remember.
so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
No, it disappeared in Windows 95. You could launch or restart to DOS, but it booted into Windows 95.
I remember correctly.
Yep. We skipped Windows 95. Our first computer had MS-DOS and Windows 3.11, and the next one had Windows 98.
And then there was the famous shutdown screen with Windows 95. It's now safe to turn off your computer. It wasn't just safe anytime. You needed to wait.
True.
But you didn't know why you needed to wait. Like, could you mess up the whole computer by turning it off a second too quickly?
Yeah, because you had to turn it off.
With a button.
Yeah. Nowadays you just press the shutdown
and
button in Windows and it shuts down. Awesome old stuff. Speaking of old stuff, let's talk a little bit about the 486 era.
Okay.
Because that's where we both started. So what was the 486? I think it's the CPU. That's the chip is called 486, if I remember correctly. That's how little I know.
Yeah, I didn't know much about any of that stuff back then.
No, but I distinctly remember it sounded like a freezer.
Yeah.
Hoover.
And before 486 came 386.
Yeah, true. We never had one of those.
No.
Not familiar at all with those. What I do remember distinctly is a turbo button on the front.
Yeah, I have a memory of that button. What did it do? Did it make the PC better?
Well, basically the opposite.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
It basically slowed your computer down if you pressed it.
The turbo button?
Yep. Because some software was designed to run on older hardware, and the 486 was so fast that they didn't work. So you had to slow down the computer. So if you pressed the turbo button, the computer just slowed down a bit.
Oh, all the problems we had.
Yeah, and everybody used it as, turbo on, of course, turbo on.
Of course, if you have a turbo button, you use it.
Goes way faster, but no. And computer nowadays, the RAM, how much do they have?
You
Like
could get by with 16 or 32
Yeah, gigabytes.
gigabytes of RAM.
The 486 had 4 megabytes. And that was enough for everything. Everything. You didn't need more. And the hard drive, 120 megabytes. That's it.
Yeah, 1 megabyte was really a lot.
Mm-hmm. Like a floppy disk. That was 1.44 megabytes, I think.
Yeah, I remember you couldn't fit an MP3 on a floppy disk.
No, not even close.
Problem. I tried, but
You tried?
I've tried everything.
Okay. And I remember games could come at up to 12 floppy disks.
Yeah, my dad had these packs, these cardboard boxes with floppy disk that were like numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it was all for a game or a software. He had a box with a lot of boxes.
Yeah. And I remember backups, computer backups. If you had to restore, they were also numbered and you had to put them back in the right order or you didn't get the backup restored. So when you install the game, insert disk 1, disk 2, and all the way to the last, and you hope that everything went right. If there was an error on one disk, it didn't work at all. You had to start from the top and hope it worked this time.
Yeah. And when you were tired of the DOS games, you went to Windows hoping there would be something to entertain yourself with there.
Like Solitaire.
Yeah, Solitaire. And we had Paint.
Oh, the glorious Paint. And Minesweeper.
Minesweeper. And I had this game called Bang Bang with cannons.
Okay.
That you were aiming to shoot at another cannon and see who could destroy the other cannon first. Like you had to type in, there was, I think, wind, speed, and angles.
Yeah,
and,
to calculate.
Very exciting game.
Cool.
And we had MS Publisher also.
Okay.
That I played around with. You could do covers for C cassettes. You remember we were doing mixtapes and I took some clip art like a sleeping potato and then I put a title, mixtape, this or that. Or what I probably called it something really silly like weird potato. And then I printed it out. We had a printer, a black and white printer in the beginning where you took one paper and you had to put it there. The printer was sucking it in and you had to like put it there really straight and let it go and hope it didn't twist or get wrinkled and destroy the printer. You could, whole PC could blow up.
Oh my God.
I was afraid to death. I was always afraid I would destroy something.
Did you?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay.
Probably did something, but I was really careful.
I remember I thought I destroyed our computer when it was really new.
Okay.
We had a friend who built the computer and showed us, my family, how it worked. My dad has always been, or was always, against computers. So we got computer really, really late, like in the Windows 3.11. And I remember I was doing something on the floppy drive, so that's A:, and I was done, and I couldn't figure out how to get back to the C and start Windows. I was completely stuck. I couldn't figure out. I thought I was stuck in the A:. So, and I was afraid, really afraid, because I thought I really
broke the whole computer. The end of the world.
Yeah, because it was brand new.
And expensive.
Of course. And I had never touched a computer before that, almost. So my dad had to call, or my dad made me call the friend who built the computer and ask, and he just went, well, just write C:. What? So it was that simple. I was in tears. I remember it was
in the corner of shame.
Yeah. So was anything better with DOS?
We had more fun with less. Smaller means.
Yeah. And if you think about it, far less distractions.
Yeah, there wasn't internet.
There was no distractions in DOS. It was just text and nothing else.
No alerts came up.
Nothing. And it did boot in 10 seconds. So it was very fast.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not really sure how today's kids would react to DOS.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, they start coding really early and they learn really quickly these days. But I guess the games could probably and DOS feel a bit boring. There's not a lot to do.
I think they would give up faster than we, because we didn't have any choice. But I think the attention span is much worse today than in the 90s.
Yeah, you have the YouTube Shorts or Facebook Shorts or whatever.
Yeah.
You just scroll and scroll and scroll.
Or do you think they would think it was cool? DOS?
I would hope so.
I highly doubt they would.
To show it to a 10-year-old. Look at this cool operating system. Wasn't there a blinking bar?
A blinking line, yeah.
That was about the action you got there.
Most exciting thing. It blinks. It's blinking.
It's alive.
It's alive. So why is DOS relevant still today in 2026?
Yeah, why is it?
So much is still built on a text prompt. If you think about it, Linux is completely built on text-based. So there's the terminal in Linux, there's a terminal on Macs, and even Windows have the command prompt. So that looks basically like DOS. And some things you just have to do it that way.
What do you do that way?
Like some complex admin stuff where you have to copy or change something works better in command prompt, or another program called PowerShell, which is even deeper and more dangerous, but you can do much more that you can't do in the graphical user interface.
Have you used it?
I have used it for some stuff, yes, but only with tutorials and guides to learn how to do something.
Do you think your experience with MS-DOS made it somehow easier to understand?
Yeah, I think so, because I can visualize easier what I'm doing and what the program is doing or supposed to be doing, at least sometimes. In Linux, it's more difficult because I'm not so familiar with it.
No, me neither.
But it's cool.
It's interesting.
I'm going to install it on some new computers here shortly.
Okay.
And then gaming. Retro gaming is huge right now. And there's thousands of DOS games. And they are so easy to run on emulators like DOSBox. So it's completely relevant today because you run DOS games in DOS, but in a DOS emulator.
Yeah. I've heard that our generation, like the millennials or xennials or what are we called, a really nostalgic generation.
Yeah.
And I've seen on Instagram these accounts with thousands of followers where they play retro games or they're in a 90s room and look at all the toys and
90s
things.
colors and clothes. And
and there's music to it, 90s music. And it's really, I love those types of account, and I think this podcast is nostalgic too.
Yeah, I know for a fact that you like 90s fashion.
I do.
So retro stuff. So what DOS games do you remember mostly?
On top of my head, Superplex and Commander Keen and Stunt Driver. I'm not sure what the game...
It's just Stunt.
Okay, Stunt.
Yeah.
You weren't ever really sure what the name of the games were, because sometimes the file names could be short for something. So I played Keen 4, not Commander Keen.
Okay. Yeah, true. I remember games like the old Monkey Island point-and-click games.
Did it run from DOS?
I think so.
Okay.
And, of course, Doom.
Mm-hmm. Doom and Wolfenstein.
Yep, Wolfenstein 3D.
Wolf 3D.
Wolf 3D. That was the executable.
Yeah.
Yep. And then also these small games like Slicks and Slide and...
There were a lot of smaller games.
Yeah.
I installed a game called something with aquarium.
Okay.
I think, because I was looking for another DOS game called Aquanoid, where you were this little bar that you used your keyboard, I think, and this bar, there was this ball that hit the bar down there, and it went
like a
up
ping
to
pong
hit some
ball.
bricks. Yeah, and I couldn't play
Arkanoid or something.
Aquanoid was the
Okay.
name of mine, and I found this other game, something with an aquarium, and I tried that one just the other day. You were a goldfish, and a goldfish supposedly only lives for 7 days, and you were supposed to steer the goldfish, or you had a fish and you were luring the goldfish to go here and there, and it could die of anything from sunlight to a fishing hook, or who fishes in an aquarium. Well, really weird game of a fat, ugly goldfish.
Okay.
And I lost, and then I stopped.
Another thing that comes to mind when thinking about what was better or how DOS lives again, or the ideology of DOS lives today, is the simplicity. I think more and more apps there's a lot of text-based apps now. No distractions, like a focus mode. So just the thing you're doing right there and then.
Yes.
It's like a text editor, nothing but the text. No buttons, nothing. And that was basically DOS.
Yeah.
So the ideology lives.
It lives. It's minimalism is really modern now.
And like we said, no notification, no updates, no pop-ups.
Do you wish to go back?
No, not really. I'm pretty happy here in.
You could just put on a YouTube video with a DOS.
I should install a screensaver.
Yes, DOS screensaver.
That could be cool.
That was like a game too back in the day. You were just looking at cool screensavers.
Mm-hmm. Were the screensavers in DOS?
Not in DOS, but in Windows.
Yeah, old Windows, like the pipes one. I remember, and the flying Windows symbols, stars. Let's talk a little bit about how it was to play DOS games.
I remember it as a pretty lonely experience, but fun.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have any tutorials or no quick saves and waypoints, no one to guide you. You didn't have the online communities, no updates for the games. Yeah. You had what you had, and often you were clueless playing them because there wasn't usually a guide.
Yeah, it was a time of figuring out what to do yourself and discussing with your friends that played the same game and figuring out how to do different things in the game that way instead of finding them out on internet.
Yes.
Because this is pre-internet.
Yes, it was before internet.
I remember a term or two terms, freeware and shareware.
Yeah, I remember that too. But I didn't know what it was at the time. I was just playing games.
Yeah.
So what was the difference between freeware and shareware?
With shareware, you were supposed to share with your friends. So it was like marketing.
Ah, interesting.
So you got the game for free and could share with your friends. And freeware basically is the same, but not as much marketing, more like a cheap game or free game.
But not supposed to share a free game.
I don't know.
get what the difference.
I actually don't know the difference, but I know shareware was you were supposed to share with your friends.
Okay. Maybe someone else can let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
How about settings in a game, like choosing the sound blaster or whatever sound card you had?
First of all, you had to have a sound card to get sound. It had to have the different audio chips. You could even connect external sound interfaces and synthesizers that would play the sound from the game.
Wow.
But it was very difficult to configure.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. My dad just told me what button to press. Usually the sound blaster, you could choose PC speaker, but then it sounded like
it was. Yeah, the PC speaker was a very small speaker inside the computer that could basically play the most basic sounds like an old telephone. And it sounded awful because it was inside the computer.
I guess many didn't have speakers. So.
Yeah, the sound blaster was a big thing when it came. I remember always choosing Sound Blaster because we had a Sound Blaster card.
Yeah, we had two, but I thought it was the name of the speakers.
Ah, okay. Logo on the speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen videos on YouTube later that compared the different sound cards and sound chips, and the game was completely different because they sounded very different with the different sound cards. So you could have had a very different experience in a game.
Ah, interesting.
And now on DOSBox and emulators, you can often choose any of them and hear how they sound.
Oh, cool. I have to check that out sometime. And something that was different before was the controllers. You didn't have a standard back then.
Yeah,
I remember.
button layout.
Yeah. Nowadays, when you play a game, you use the WASD and space to jump and shift.
Most of them.
Run and so on. But I remember, for example, Commander Keen.
Yeah.
You shot on space.
Yeah.
I think you jumped on control and took out your pogo stick on alt.
Yeah, very different layout.
But I didn't know it was something weird with that because it was standard to just use your keyboard differently for every game.
And almost never any mouse support.
No.
So only keyboard. I remember playing Doom and Wolfenstein 3D with only keyboard.
Yeah, me too.
First.
Yep.
Later with mouse and keyboard. Another thing that wasn't always complete was the game. They would sometimes release it too early. And that still happens today.
Yes, early access.
Early access, yeah, and you get fixes, downloads. But back then there weren't any fixes. No. So you got a broken game and that's it.
No community or anything. Sometimes there was a phone number, but who would call to like United States or somewhere?
Yeah, because we were in Finland, so no way. I remember we used a joystick instead of the keyboard in some games. We had a Logitech Wingman something
joystick. I had a joystick too.
Yeah, and you could play most games like platformers with that. So we used joystick pretty often instead of the keyboard.
Yeah, I remember playing Raymond with joystick, but that wasn't really fun at all.
No, gamepad would have been better, but we didn't have one of those.
I had one, but it wasn't very good.
Okay. We could dive deeper into DOS world, and we probably will at some point, but I think we'll leave DOS for this episode. Let's go over to the last week's challenge.
Oh, yes.
So what was the challenge?
The challenge was to play a game that frustrated you as a kid.
So what did you play?
I played The Lion King.
Okay.
And another game, the Disney Magical Adventures game I had.
The NES, yeah.
Both those games I owned as a kid. First of all, The Lion King.
Did you beat it?
No. I got to level 2, where there were some kind of hippos that you were supposed to hang on to and jump, and you held on to the tails of the hippos. I don't know, was it hippo? Okay. Anyway, and then you came to a place where you were supposed to roar at monkeys to throw you in different directions, and I was totally lost. Totally lost there. And then the game crashed, and that was just as well.
Okay. So that was it.
I couldn't have continued any longer. I didn't remember that there were continues you could get in the game.
Okay, yeah.
But just a few.
I tried that game just for fun as well, and the hitbox was completely. I missed them immediately. Just fell in the water. The tails.
The tails. Yeah.
So bad design in my
Yes.
opinion. How about the Disney game?
The Disney game actually went better.
Okay.
I played the ghost house that I described in last episode, where you were supposed to jump from moving chairs onto falling chandeliers and to another chair, and books came flying at you. And I actually beat it.
Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah, only barely. Like 1 millisecond of time left before I died. There was this ghost in the end that you were supposed to beat, and I just threw candles. You shoot with candles, threw them everywhere. But that felt good. I played it over and over quite many times, and I almost gave up. But then
You got there in the end.
I got there in the end. So
Cool.
yes.
Yes. So some of the frustration is gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a stone that fell from my chest. Yep. What games did you play?
I played an old DOS game, actually, that I bought on CD back in the day. I was very much into building airfix models, like ships, warships, plastic warship models. And the game is USS Ticonderoga. And it's basically a warship game. You're a commander of a warship and some other ships as well, I think. And I just liked the ships so much. I wanted to drive a ship back then like a kid and shoot stuff. But it was so difficult. I didn't know how to control the game. I didn't know what to do. It was all in English, and my English wasn't very good back then. So I just ran around and drank coffee from mugs that was here and there. And that's all I could do ever in the game. And now I tried it. I still couldn't figure out what to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I watched a video on YouTube, and someone just explained, oh, you do this and this and this. And I said, okay. I got it, but I didn't go back and try it.
Okay. So, what could you do except for drink coffee?
You could control the ship where it went. You could launch missiles. There was like 200 different missions in different parts of the world that you could do and control the ship. But I never I never figured anything out. And so I quit.
Okay.
Still frustrated.
So you had the game as a kid but never played any of it?
Basically, yes.
I bet that happened to a lot of kids.
I think so. And the box was awesome. The big warship on the cover. And I said, yeah. The music was pretty cool. And the graphics is awful. It's like a kind of point-and-click game. Like if any one of you have played Myst, it's basically you control it like that. You turn the camera when you click on the edge of the screen, and you move forward and backwards, and you can click on stuff, and you control the ship that way. But I couldn't understand anything about what the different monitors and charts and stuff was, or was what you were supposed to be doing. And you have to click on different persons and have a discussion with them. You get their opinion, what you should do in the game, and you can tell your opinion. And the outcome is, it's like a role play game, basically.
Okay.
And I had no idea. Because I didn't know what they were talking about back then. And now I could understand that, but I didn't get that far to understand that you were supposed to do that even. So just the video explained it later.
I'm sure there are a lot of better games that you could play than that.
I just remembered that game, and I was very frustrated because I bought it. It wasn't very cheap, I remember, and I couldn't play it at all.
Oh.
So very frustrating.
So do you have a challenge for us for next episode?
Well, the next system after DOS for me was basically the PlayStation 1. So for next week's Level Up Challenge, let's both play the same PlayStation game and see how far we can get with just one life.
Okay, what game?
My first game on the PlayStation was Crash Bandicoot 2.
Oh, I love that game.
Okay.
I didn't have it. I only had Crash Bandicoot 3 and Crash Team Racing.
I never played those. Okay, so next week's Level Up Challenge, get as far as you can in Crash Bandicoot 2 with just one life.
Okay, and anyone can join.
Absolutely. You can find us and reach us on social media at XP over 40.
Go to our Instagram or Facebook for more behind-the-scenes content and about our exciting life as gamers over 40. Thank you for listening. And until next time, keep on playing.
And if you like what you hear, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up.
Please.